So we are moving on. We're actually going to change the lineup here a little bit. The Smart Modified Tour will take over track, and we'll turn it over to Mr. Dillner right now.
Mr. Dillner. Wow, how about that? Thank you very much, Chris. Appreciate that. And we are excited to be here with the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. Good field of 600 horsepower modifieds in the pit area today around this beautiful facility. I haven't been here, I'm dating myself now, in about 20 years. But excited to be back. New pavement. Drivers getting ready to race on this new pavement. Red and white stripes around this race course. And excited for the racing action tonight with the Cardinal 99. 3 races to go with the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic this year. This is race number 10, and we will have 2-lap qualifying coming up. A little change in procedure for the Smart Modified Tour here. The cars will qualify in the opposite order in which they actually had qualifying results with their final practice. So technically, the slowest car from final practice goes first and on down the line. So we'll see who gets the Pace-O-Matic Pole Award today here at Sri-County Speedway in Hudson, North Carolina. Beautiful area, by the way. Up in the tower here, you can see off of turn number 3, the mountains in the backdrop. That's where I came from a little bit earlier today, off the mountain in Boone, North Carolina. I am Bob Dillner. Alongside of me, Noah Cornelius will be with us today on Flow Racing. Excited to have this stream, so if you have the opportunity to watch tonight from the grandstand, or if you're watching at home, make sure you spread the news. Let people know they need to see the mighty modifieds of the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. Qualifying coming up next. And the first car now on the racetrack. That is the 01 machine out of Coram, New York in the last option bed. Family First Life Blast Off. Go to Robbie.com, UkraineCar.org. Troyer machine with a home-built engine underneath the hood for Brian Weber. Brian Weber, one of the full-time competitors on the Smart Modified Tour, struggled a little bit in practice earlier today. JB Cole, green flag is out. First of 2 laps for Brian Weber. These modified guys, some smoke coming out the back end. Might have locked up the brakes going into turn number 3. First lap on the racetrack, 16.200, 16.2 for Brian Weber. Weber, who has also competed in the NASCAR Xfinity Series and the NASCAR Truck Series, driving some of these high horsepower machines of the modifieds. A little bit quicker on his second lap, 15.966 for Brian Weber, 15.966. Smart Modified Tour a couple of seasons ago out of Concord, North Carolina. The Curb Record stock car, steel and aluminum. SRI Performance Sunoco Race Fuels Troyer machine with that Tony's Race engine underneath the hood for the 77 of Gary Putnam. Gary Putnam, 1 lap complete for Putnam. 15.009. 15.009 puts on top of the board so far here in qualifying. Needs to get down into the 14-second bracket. We'll see if he can do it underneath the stripe at the line. And he does not. Just a little bit slower on his second lap, 15.016. So that 15.009, the quickest so far here in qualifying for Gary Putnam. Good-looking paint scheme on this next car on the racetrack, a paint scheme that I grew up with coming from Long Island, New York. Out of Selden, New York, the Corwus Auto Body. Bruce A. Patterson Incorporated, Irrigation Specialist Prototype, Race Fabrication, Kennedy, Long Island Realty for Eric Zay. He's driving a Troyer machine. That body on that race car, placed on that car 2 years ago by the 5-time NASCAR Modified Champion at Riverhead Raceway, Don Howe. Eric Zay also competing here in the street stock class several times this year with some top 10 finishes. Eric Zay, second quick on his first lap, 15.565. 15.565 for Eric Zay. His granddad, Carl Zay, famous around the Long Island Modified Wars. Checkered flag is out. A little bit quicker on the second lap, but he's still second quick. 15.096. 15.096 for Eric Zay. Next driver on the racetrack, learning the ropes here in the Smart Modified Tour, making his first start of the season. He's out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Spencer Martin in the 44. 2 smart starts to his credit prior to this one here. Came last year with the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. Let's see what Spencer Martin does on lap number 1. Spencer Martin third quick, 15.304. 15.304 for Spencer Martin on lap number 1. Lap number 2 for Spencer Martin. Will he be a little bit quicker? It is, but it doesn't move him up. Still third quick for Spencer Martin at a 15.128. Now on the racetrack. Good guy to talk to in the pit area. Out of Burlington, North Carolina. In the Habit Bar and Grill PSR Products machine. Gary Young Sr., the car owner on this machine, with that Tony's race engine underneath the hood for the 45 of Gary Young Jr. Gary, a multi-time modified champion at Ace Speedway in Altamaha, North Carolina. First lap for Gary Young Jr. And it's top of the board for Gary Young Jr. First driver in the 14-second bracket. 14.956 for Gary Young Jr. Let's see what he does off of the corner. A little bit high coming off the corner, trying to get the handles on that race car. Second lap a little bit quicker, 14.933. Fastest so far for Gary Young Jr. Now on the racetrack. Can't believe this driver has not been to Tri-County Speedway in his illustrious career. He's been driving modifieds for several years, and now he's behind the wheel of this number 55 machine. He is out of Wesley Chapel, Florida. They call him the Flying Floridian, Jeremy Gerstner. Gerstner, good run last week up at Motor Mile, taking the white flag. He'll record his first lap. Gerstner to the top of the board, 14.928 for Jeremy Gerstner. Got to pick it up. Track is going to get faster and faster as qualifying wears on here for the Smart Modified Tour, powered by Pace-O-Matic. At the line, quicker on the second lap, 14.855, quickest so far for Jeremy Gerstner. Can't miss this next car out on the racetrack. Bright yellow machine for Johnny Keevman out of Deerfield, Florida, in the A-Best forklift Viper Graphics number 48. That is a PSR car that he debuted at South Boston Speedway in the spring. Green flag out for Johnny K. Missed the race last weekend at Motor Mile up near Radford, Virginia. Keevman off of turn number 4. Gets it cut down. To the line he goes. And Johnny K, fourth quick so far. Not in that 14-second bracket. 15.028 for Johnny K on his first lap. Trying to get in the 14-second bracket. Will he do it? He does. In fact, fast time so far for Johnny K. 14.826 for Johnny Keevman. Next up on the racetrack, one of the true good guys here in the Smart Modified Tour, powered by Pace-O-Matic out of Lexington, North Carolina, in the Carolina Drilling Tutaro Racing Fury machine with that ECR engine powering that machine for Jimmy Wallace. Jimmy Wallace, full-time competitor this year on the Smart Modified Tour, powered by Pace-O-Matic. Nice and steady on the gas, lower than most other competitors. Let's see what Jimmy Wallace does on his first lap. Fifth quick, 15.054, 15.054 for Jimmy Wallace. Got to get into that 14-second bracket, and he does. How about this? Fast time so far for Jimmy Wallace. 14.792 for Jimmy Wallace. One of the most famous modifieds in all Southern modified competition now on the racetrack out of Roanoke, Virginia. Another true good guy, always smiling on his face, The number 07 VA for Dennis Holdren. The parts company, Hannibasson Row Collision. Mark Dowdy owned Fury car. He has driven just about everything. Late models, street stocks, limited late models, and now smart modifieds. 1 lap complete for Dennis Holdren. 5th quick, 14.960 for Dennis Holdren. The Roanoke, Virginia driver going to get on the gas off of turn number 4. Drive it to the line. 2nd quick for Dennis Holdren. Time of 14.825. 14.825 for Dennis Holdren. 2nd quick so far. Here comes another one of those independent runners that modified racing makes famous out of Lexington, North Carolina. In the number 18 car in the Jerry Hunt Supercenter Yates Grading and Excavating LFR, it's Daniel Yates. Yates' best finish so far this year, 9th place at Caraway earlier this year. Run just outside the top 10, a little loose coming off of turn number 4 for Daniel Yates. Yates 9th quick because he got sideways, 15.266 for D. Yates. Checkered flag in the air. Can he improve? He's going to want to, otherwise he's going to be pretty aggravated. He does not move up the board. Still 9th quick for Daniel Yates. 15.266, the top time for the driver of the 18X. This next driver, part of a racing family. My dad always told me, a family that races together stays together. Out of Statesville, North Carolina, in the Mark III Financial Buzzy Racing Machine for Tommy Buzzy. Tommy with a great run at South Boston Speedway in the spring, stood on the podium, hoping to do that with his 2nd start ever in his career here at Tri-County Speedway. Buzzy, 9th quick, 15.136. 15.136 for Tommy Buzzy out of Statesville, North Carolina. He'll drive that car low off of turn number 4. To the line he goes. Buzzy does improve. 6th quick for Tommy Buzzy. 14.940 for the 5. Now on the racetrack, returning to the Smart Modified Tour Wars, powered by Pace-O-Matic out of Concord, North Carolina. This driver is the 3rd all-time winningest driver at the old Concord Speedway, right down the road from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Bobby Meismer Jr., they call him 14. Farmer Ted. Z-Max Lubricants Racing Electronics among the sponsors on that machine. Let's see what Bobby Meismer Jr. can do here during qualifying. 8th quick so far, barely in the 15-second bracket. 15.016. Going to get on the gas here, try to get into that 14-second bracket. Go after Jimmy Wallace on top of the board so far. But he doesn't do it. 5th quick. 14.863 for Bobby Meismer Jr. in the Z-Max number 14. 5th quick so far. Now on the racetrack, we have a NASCAR Hall of Famer out of Corpus Christi, Texas, in the Cookout Coca-Cola units, moving and portable storage Pace-O-Matic machine for Sadler Stanley Racing, that PSR car for Bobby Labonte. Labonte, former NASCAR Cup Series champion, loving himself some modified racing action. Spun during practice, the final practice session earlier today. Bobby Labonte 4th quick on his first lap. 14.833 for Bobby Labonte. Oh, so close to the top time so far. About a 1/10 of a second off. Can he improve now? Coming to the line for Labonte. Fast time for Bobby Labonte in that Pace-O-Matic number 18. 14.717 for Bobby Labonte. You want to talk about rising young stars in Southern Modified Racing? Look no further than this kid that drives the famous red number 23 Modified in the Smart Modified Tour. Just 15 years old, 3rd in points coming into this one for Lexington, North Carolina's Carson Lofton. Lofton in that L&R Transmissions LeBlue bottled water machine. That is a PSR chassis race car as well, with that Tony Race engines powering the car to complete lap number 1. Fastest in the first practice earlier today. He's 5th quick on his first lap. 14.853. Carson Lofton, a threat for the Pace-O-Matic Pole Award here today at Tri-County. Carson Lofton remains 5th quick. 14.830 for Carson Lofton in the 23. So we go from son to father right now. And father is the defending winner of this race here for the Smart Modified Tour, powered by Pace-O-Matic at Tri-County Speedway. Also out of Lexington, North Carolina, in the LNR Transmissions, Steve's Tires and Automotive, Unique Coatings, Shady Grady Racing, Troyer. It's Brian Lofton in the 15. Lofton, so fast, set the track record for modifieds here 1 year ago. What is he going to do on lap number 1? Brian Lofton, 3rd quick, 14.808 for Brian Lofton. Bobby Labonte setting the tone during qualifying, at least for the moment. To the checkered flag, Lofton 2nd quick, 14.782 for Brian Lofton to a 14.717 for Bobby Labonte. Just miss for Brian Lofton out of Lexington, North Carolina. You talk about a driver that has been snake bit this year. Take a look at the Gray Ghost in turn number 3, now coming off of turn number 4. That is the 02 machine out of Miami Springs, Florida, in the A-Shock Torch Eyewear SRI Performance Coulter Motorsports Fury machine for former NASCAR Truck Series winner Joey Coulter. Coulter has done everything but win on the Smart Modified Tour this year. He has 2 wins to his credit. First lap for Joey Coulter, 8th quick, 14.862 for Coulter in the 02. Joey Coulter, quick but not quick enough. 2nd, 14.727 for Joey Coulter out of Florida. We know there are a lot of Myers Brothers racing fans in the crowd here today at Tri-County Speedway. And this one right here is a good one. Out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina. In the Carolina Drilling, Greg Butcher Trucking, QRC, HVAC and Refrigeration, PSR, Gary Myers, his dad, the owner on this machine, for Jason Myers. Myers loves Tri-County Speedway. First lap for Jason Myers. Jason Myers to the top of the board. Fast time on lap number 2. 14.635 for Jason Myers. Jason Myers had a great run back in 2016 here with the old SMRS series. He stood on the podium with a 3rd place run. And now his brother, now on the racetrack. Also out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, in the Citrus Safe Grill Cleaners Backyard Leisure Pool and Spas machine. His wife, Kim Myers, is the registered owner on this PSR car for the ace, Burt Myers. Burt Myers leading the way for the Smart Modified Tour in the championship standings right now. White flag in the air for Burt Myers. Burt Myers, 5th quick, 14.788 seconds. Burt Myers won with an old NASCAR Whelen Southern Modified Tour here at Tri-County back in 2010. Trying to get the Pace-O-Matic Pole Award here and unseat his brother at the top of the heap. Not gonna do it. 2nd quick in qualifying, 14.674 to a 14.635 to his brother, Jason Myers. Wow. Close in qualifying here today with the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. This next driver is bad to the bone. A 3rd generation modified race car driver, now behind the wheel of the Buddy Ellis number 24 with Amerifast supply on the side of the car. He is out of Freehold, New Jersey. Danny Bone, winner in the NASCAR Modified Division at Bowman Gray Stadium many times over. Danny Bone always quick, 7th quick on his first lap. 14.810 for Danny Bone. Had a great car at Carteret County Speedway just about a month ago. Checkered flag in the air for Danny Bone. Improves just a little bit. 5th quick for Danny Bone. 14.747 for Danny Bone out of New Jersey. Coming off the corner out of Statesville, North Carolina, in the Piggly Wiggly Cherokee Unlimited All-American Roofing and Restoration Paul French Troyer machine for the 2PA of Jake Crum. Jake Crum has run late models here at Tri-County Speedway so many times, has done everything but win. Jake Crum, 13th quick on his first lap, 14.931. He's finished 2nd here. Back in 2007 in the old UARA late model stock car wars. Let's see what Crum can do here. A little bit better on his 2nd lap. He's 8th quick so far. 14.817 for Jake the Snake Crum. This next car, very fast in practice earlier today. This guy can not only wheel a go-kart, he can wheel one of these mighty modifieds as well out of Oxford, North Carolina. In the Pace-O-Matic Aggressive Hydraulics S&S Racing PSR for Jonathan Cash. Ryan Newman shares the driving duties on this car, owned by Bill Stanley and Hermie Sadler. White flag, 14th quick first lap for Jay Cash, 14.927 for the 39. With how good that car was in practice, he's got to step it up here on that 2nd lap. And he does. 5th quick for Jonathan Cash, 14.745 for Jonathan Cash. Couple more cars here in qualifying. Now on the racetrack. This guy is known as one of the best in the Southern Modified Wars. Out of Tobaccoville, North Carolina, in the Jerry Hunt Supercenter Amsoil Hayes Jewelers Team 25 car. That is a Troyer machine. Mike Smith, call him Andretti, owns this race car and is driven by the Rocket, Tim Brown. Tim Brown coming around to the flag. We'll see what he can do on lap number 1. Tim Brown, 5th quick. 14.734, always qualifies well here at Tri-County, has never won on this famous racetrack here in the foothills of North Carolina. Tim Brown goes to 3rd quick, 14.703, 14.703 for the Rocket, Tim Brown. Now 2 more cars to qualify. And this is the driver that finished 2nd, yes, runner-up in this race 1 year ago. And he's also 2nd in the point standings for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and the KevinSaysYes.com. Coulter Motorsports, Randy Renfro prepares this race car. Brand new PSR, he debuted just over a month ago for Brandon Ward. First lap for Brandon Ward, 10th quick, 14.799. The NASCAR Modified Champion at Bowman Gray Stadium this year. Brandon Ward wants to get in the top 8, wants to redraw for his starting spot here today. And he will, at least for now. 8th quick for Brandon Ward, 14.765 on his 2nd lap. And now on the racetrack. This car was the fastest of all in the final practice session here today out of Shelbyville, Kentucky, in the Mohawk Northeast. Willwood Brakes Racing Electronics, Tommy Baldwin Racing PSR for the Kentucky kid, Caleb Heddy. Heddy, 3rd in this race 1 year ago. Heddy, the defending series champion of the Smart Modified Tour, powered by Pace-O-Matic, still holding steady in the top 5 in the standings. White flag in the air for Caleb Heddy. Caleb Hetty, 16th quick first lap, 14.860. He's got to step it up big time here on lap number 2. Caleb Hetty, he does, locks himself into a redraw position. 6 quick for the 7NY, 14.737. 14.737 for Caleb Hetty. So the Pace-O-Matic Pole Award will be won by Jason Myers in the number 4. 14.635 for Jason Myers. Congratulations to that driver out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina. His brother Burt Myers, second quick. Tim Brown, how about that? The Myers and the Brown. Right there, top 3 in this one. Tim Brown, the 12-time Bowman Gray Stadium track champion. Third quick, Bobby Labonte in 4th. 5th place, Joey Coulter, Noah Cornelius. How about you taking us through the top 10?
We're getting the stats pulled back up here real quickly. Taking us back to the top 5 and top 10. In 6th, it's the number 7 of Caleb Hetty, running at 14.737. And number 7th, in 7th place, we have the number 39 of Jonathan Cash, running at 14.745. In 8th, number 24 of Danny Bone, running a 14.747. And number 9, 9th place, number 2, Brandon Ward, 14.765. And rounding out the top 10, number 15, Brian Lofton, running a 14.782.
Pretty interesting. The top 8 will redraw here in just a little while for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. But the interesting part is that 2 people that we expected to have speed in Brandon Ward in that 2 machine, second in points, and the defending winner of this race, the track record holder, Brian Lofton from last year. Brian Lofton also not in the top 8 for the redraw. So that's a little bit of a surprise here so far today already at Tri-County. Brian Lofton, great run for him 1 year ago here at this racetrack, and only led a handful of laps but got the victory. Obviously, it's a long way, 99 laps. He can certainly make his way up through the field in 99 laps. And remember, folks, for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic, when lap 30 is complete, that will be the end of Bell Helmet's stage number 1. Looks like we have more qualifying coming up. Let's go back to Chris here at Tri-County.
Outlaw division on the track now. Outlaw division sponsored by Messer Heating and Cooling here at Tri-County Speedway. Check 1, 2, check, 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 check. Check 1, 2. Let's give it up one more time for tonight's feature winner in the Pro 4 class here at Tri-County Speedway, the 17X of Curtis Pardue.
Thank you so much, Chris. We're getting excited because up next, the Cardinal 99 for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. And we're just a few weeks from Halloween. Yes, we're going to be trick-or-treating before you know it. But the Smart Modified Tour endured a spooky situation this week.
Down here. Office said that if it was shipped, it would probably be down here in this building. But to be honest with you, I was a little nervous to come down here, which I don't understand why.
It's Stokes County High School. What's in here?
Look, at the end of the day, it's supposed to be in South Boston, Virginia, and we race, so we got to get it and we got to find it.
Are they going to come and help us look for this?
They're a little nervous. They don't want to come down here for some reason.
Well, we got to find this.
Yeah, let's go.
I mean, we've got Pace-O-Matic, we got the Smart 3 in South Boston.
Who are you?
We're at the Smart Modified Tour. We're looking for the Smart Trophy.
Trophy?
Yeah, the trophy. Smart Modified Trophy.
Listen, I don't know about a trophy, but this place is freaking haunted. What?
Well, what do you want down here?
What? Who are you? We're the Smart Modified Tour. We're looking for the Smart Trophy. Smart Modified Trophy. Listen, I don't know about a trophy, but this place is freaking haunted. No, I'm serious. My photographer wouldn't even follow me in here.
He's a photographer.
What?
Yeah, Justin Teller. I gotta take pictures of the trophy with him.
Do you think you could help me out? I've got all the stuff.
I mean, I know how to run equipment, but I don't know how to hunt bows.
I'll teach you.
All right, whatever. It's fine.
Are you sure I don't feel so good?
Listen, we'll find the smarty. We'll help you.
Thank you. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Really?
Yeah.
We're gonna do ghosts and find the Smarty?
There's no such thing as ghost.
Are you sure?
Dude, yes. Look, let's just get the smarty. That's what we're here for.
I don't feel so well, man.
JB, come on, dude.
Okay, I'll
Suck it up, Buttercup.
All right, okay.
Let's get this smarty and let's leave.
Look, I've wrestled, but I've never wrestled a ghost. I don't do ghosts.
Ain't no
I
such
don't
thing.
feel so well.
You look like something out of Ghostbusters.
I don't know what to do with all this stuff.
Ghost one, ghost two. Works.
It's hardly plugged in. How do I work this?
It's okay.
Ah,
Here you go. Ghost one, ghost two.
I got you.
Got it. Okay, so it's gonna work best if we go into groups. You two, me and you.
All right.
Not you, the cute one.
I thought I was the
Of course.
If you hear anything, see anything, just yell for help.
Hey, all we need is a trophy. Let's get to smarty. Let's get out of here.
But,
Come on, let's go. Good luck.
but you need a blue pill? I mean, unbelievable.
Absolutely not.
This is. We just need to find this trophy. I mean,
I was supposed to be taking photos. This is not.
photos. I mean, the photos are easy. I mean, I'm making decisions. He loses a trophy. I mean,
Where
would
is
you
the
quit-
trophy?
Quit looking at me with that thing.
No, we gotta find the trophy. Oh,
Do you feel that?
Feel what?
She's here.
The trophy girl?
No.
And
what's that smell?
what?
It smells like death. Maybe that lady wasn't so crazy after all. God, do you not smell that?
Dude, I farted. Okay?
God, what did you
That's me.
eat?
That's me. I had Taco Bell before we came here. Chris doesn't usually feed us when we go on a... Jeez.
What's so special about this trophy anyway?
Well, to be honest with you, it's what we give every driver that wins.
There it is. Now let's get it. Let's get it out of here. Let's get it. Oh, gosh. Whoa, whoa! What in the world? Oh, my God, they do it right! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What are you cutting me into? Chris, help! Help! Oh, my God!
What?
Oh, God. Chris, thank God. She was right there, I swear. I swear to you.
Jamie.
Was this a shadow? Whoa.
Trophy, let's go.
She was... Oh, my God, she was right there.
Get it, let's go.
It was a shadow.
Go.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't... You're... Stay with me.
I got you. It's a shadow.
You got me.
It's just a shadow. Come on. We gotta get out of here. It's just a shadow.
Oh my God. They think I'm going crazy. They think I'm going crazy.
It's just a shadow.
All right. Here we go. All right.
Hurry up.
We got it.
We got it.
We got it.
Good job.
There you go.
Told you I know such thing as ghosts.
You didn't see what I saw.
Let's get out of here. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, God. They did it again. Oh, my
Let's
God.
get out of here.
No, wait. Where are you going? Where are you going? Chris, you left me again. Chris.
We cannot wait to get to South Boston Speedway, the home of the Bologna Burger, next week. That's Saturday night, October 14th. We hope you can join us in Virginia for the penultimate race of the year for the Smart Modified Tour, powered by Pace-O-Matic. What a beautiful sight. Some of the most beautiful race cars in all of American motorsports lined up on the front stretch. Yes, let them hear it. Round of applause for each and every driver in tonight's starting lineup. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the stars of the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. And more than $250,000 was invested in the lighting system here at Tri-County Speedway, a beautiful facility here in Hudson, North Carolina. We go to the tail of the field, and that's where you will find the driver from Coram, New York, in the last option bed 01 for Brian Weber. Starting 23rd to Weber's inside out of Lexington, North Carolina in the 18X for Daniel Yates. And making his third start in Smart Modified Tour history out of High Point, North Carolina in the number 44, it's Spencer Martin. He'll line up 22nd. Starting 21st out of Selden, New York in that very famous looking number 34 blue and yellow modified, it's Eric Zay. Starting 20th in the number 77, he's a former Smart Modified Tour winner out of Concord, North Carolina. Formerly from New England, it's Gary Putnam in the 77. Starting 19th from Statesville, North Carolina in the number 5 machine with Mark III Financial on the side of it, it's Tommy Buzzy. Starting 18th out of Burlington, North Carolina in the number 45. He is a multi-time modified track champion at Ace Speedway in Altamaha, New York. In that 45, it's Gary Young Jr. Starting 17th, they call him Farmer Ted in the Z-Max Lubricants number 14. He is very fast normally in Smart Modified Tour competition out of Concord, North Carolina. Bobby Meismer Jr. Starting 16th in the number 55 out of Wesley Chapel, Florida, it's the Flying Floridian Jeremy Gerster, who is 9th in points in the 55. Starting 15th, this kid is hot on the Smart Modified Tour, powered by Pace-O-Matic. He's just 15 years old, and he's 3rd in points. Out of Lexington, North Carolina, in the number 23, it's Carson Lofton. Starting 14th, this guy thinks he's got a very fast race car tonight. He's got one of the brightest ones in the field. Driver the yellow number 48. He will start 14th tonight for Johnny Keevman. Starting 13th in that famous 07 VA Modified. He was 10th in this race last year. Driver of that 07 out of Roanoke, Virginia, it's Dennis Holdren. The next driver who will start 12th here tonight has done everything but win at Tri-County Speedway in the late model competition. In fact, 2nd in 2007 in UARA late model star car competition. It's Jake the Snake Crum in the 12. Starting 11th here tonight in the number 21 out of Lexington, North Carolina. Carolina drilling on the side of that race car. He was 9th at Caraway Speedway earlier this year for Jimmy Wallace. And here we go, up another row. In the number 15 out of Lexington, North Carolina, the defending winner of this race from 1 year ago with the Cardinal 99. He's 6th in points for the 15 of Brian Lofton. Starting 9th, the man that sits 2nd in the point standings for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. He is also the NASCAR Modified Champion at Bowman Gray Stadium, and he will start 9th here tonight in the number 2 machine out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's Brandon Ward. Just a reminder, the top 8 qualifiers here tonight redrew earlier today, and this is how they will line up. He qualified 8th. He will start 8th here tonight out of Miami Springs, Florida. A former NASCAR Truck Series winner in the 02 machine, it's Joey Coulter. Starting 7th, he's a 16-time NASCAR Modified winner at Bowman Gray Stadium. The 3rd generation driver out of Freehold, New Jersey. Driver the number 24, he'll start 7th here tonight for Denny Bone. Starting 6th here tonight in the number 39 machine for Sadler Stanley Racing. He is out of Oxford, North Carolina, a former go-kart kingpin. It's Jonathan Cash who will line up 6th. Starting 5th here tonight out of Tobaccoville, North Carolina, a 12-time Bowman Gray Modified Track champion, and 7th in the Smart Modified Tour points in that Jerry Hunt Super Center, number 25 for Tim Brown. And now your top 4 starters. In the number 1, out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, in the Citrus Safe Grill Cleaners machine, out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, a 2-time Smart champion, Bert the Ace Myers. Starting 3rd in the 7NY, and we say hello to Tommy Baldwin watching from home here tonight. He is the defending series champion. The kid is out of Kentucky, and he feels like he can win here tonight. Caleb Hetty. And now your front row starters. On the outside, out of Corpus Christi, Texas, in the Cookout, Pace-O-Matic number 18. He's a NASCAR Hall of Famer and 8th in the series point standings. It's Bobby Labonte. And on the pole, he won the Pace-O-Matic Pole Award earlier today, and after the redraw, he redrew the pole position as well. Out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, he's 10th in the series point standings, but a 4-time winner at Bowman Gray Stadium this year alone. Put your hands together for Jason Myers. Oh, folks, can you feel the vibe as we get ready to get kick-started here tonight? Some of the best machines that you'll see on any racetrack in America assembled here with a Smart Modified Tour at Tri-County Speedway. Excited to be with you. I'm Bob Dillner. Noah Cornelius will be with me as well during this race, calling 99 laps of spectacular racing action for these mighty modifieds here tonight. All right, folks, we're going to need your help. We're going to go 3, 2, 1, go. And give the command to start engines here tonight. We thank each and every one of you for coming out here to Tri-County Speedway with a Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Drivers, start your engines. Feel the rumble of 600 horsepower. 15-inch wide tires, low to the ground race cars. The earth will tremble here tonight at Tri-County Speedway. A little Metallica to get your blood pumping here, to get that adrenaline going. We know it's a little bit chilly here this evening. We see the hoodies out there, but we don't care because the action on the racetrack will be red hot here tonight. I want to say a big thanks to Pace-O-Matic. And remember, Bell Helmets, the sponsor of stage number 1. This is a 99-lap race, but lap number 30 will complete Bell Helmets stage number 1. The top 3 drivers will be honored for their competition in the first 30 laps of this race, and that counts towards the championship equation when we get to Orange County Speedway in Rougemont, North Carolina on a Saturday night, October 28th. Yeah, a little trick or treat there in Rougemont, North Carolina for the finale for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. You see those cars on the backstretch. We need to see you moving, getting that blood pumping here tonight, because in just a moment we're going to stand and honor some of these drivers as they salute you as well. That front row, the 4-car of Jason Myers, the veteran NASCAR Cup Series champion back in 2000. In the number 18, it's Bobby Labonte. That is your front row here tonight in the Cardinal 99. Big thank you to all watching on Flow Racing as well. Right now, send us a picture of where you're watching from, because we're going to get up on our feet right now. Folks, this is the time that we want to see you. Get on your feet. In the foothills of North Carolina sits Tri-County Speedway. And folks, we definitely need your help for this one. It's time to stand up. Get out of your seat as the Smart Stars off of turn number 4 will salute you, the best racing fans in America. This is our salute to open wheels, to chrome horns, and 600 horsepower. The ground pounders, the Mod Squad. This is the Smart Modified Tour. And a big thank you to everyone at Pace-O-Matic for all they do. JB Cole, you hit it here tonight. Thank you for your artwork down there in the flag stand. And my brother Matthew Dillner from Flow Racing getting some good shots down there tonight. You'll see some of that content during the week on Flow Racing. Just moments away before we get this one kick-started here tonight. Take a look at that second row. Burt Myers in the number 1 machine. Backyard leisure pools and spas on the side of that machine, and Burt Myers has won 3 times already this year. The driver to his inside in that 7NY has only won once. And then you take a look at that third row on the inside, Tim Brown. Tim Brown still looking for that elusive Smart Modified Tour win number 1. He's won on the NASCAR Will and Southern Modified Tour back in the day, SMRS, Bowman Gray, you name it, but is still yet to win the big Smart race. Can he do it here tonight? Coming to the green, folks, this time by 99 laps. Makes up the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. I am Bob Dillner. Noah will be joining us in just a moment, but here they come. Jason Myers, Bobby Labonte. By the grace of God and 600 horsepower, the Smart Modified Tour is ready to rumble here in Tri-County. Jason Myers on the inside. Bobby Labonte shoots into the lead here on the opening lap. We're going to work on Noah's microphone here. Jonathan Cash on the outside of that second row. Take a look at Jonathan Cash trying to go to the outside of that 4 car. Jason Myers, our Pace-O-Matic pole sitter. Jonathan Cash going to be able to move into the 3rd spot, at least momentarily. A little contact down there in the corner for the 3rd place battle. Myers in the 4 on the inside. Jonathan Cash on the outside. Little contact once again. Jason Myers' car not turning like he wants to. Here comes Joey Coulter as well. Joey Coulter looking strong on the outside in that gray number 02. Coulter very strong. Cash still on the outside. Jason Myers dropped on the bottom of the black number 4. Last year's winner of this race, the red and white number 15. That is Brian Lofton trying to make his way through the field as well. Brian Lofton having a very good run here early in the going. Just now 4 laps complete here at Tri-County.
Bobby is still out front here as he goes out of turn 2 onto the straightaway. He's holding off the hard-charging Burt Myers and not taking the traditional stock car line into these turns. Slipping and sliding, and that's what makes these modified so much fun.
There is Caleb Eddy in the 7NY, also trying to make his way around Jason Myers. Myers really struggling with that race car in the opening laps of this race. That car just does not want to turn on the bottom side of the racetrack in the middle of the corner. Up front, it's Bobby Labonte leading this one. Labonte looking very strong. Second place is Burt Myers. Myers up to second. Third is Jonathan Cash. Fourth is Joey Coulter. And fifth, Brian Lofton.
You can see the difference of speed when Burt Myers gets into turn 3, but Bobby Labonte just finds a way to outrun it. But luckily, he's got a teammate coming in behind him in third, Jonathan Cash.
Jonathan Cash looking good, but here comes Joey Coulter. Coulter, we told you he's hungry for win number 1 on the season. Coulter on the inside, battle is for third. Coulter gonna make mincemeat out of Jonathan Cash after a little contact, knocks Jonathan Cash up the racetrack.
Yeah, I was just talking about Jonathan Cash. He's been Bobby Labonte's teammate now. He's dropping back. Now it's Burt Myers. Bobby Labonte in the front.
Joey Coulter now in front of Brian Lofton. Caleb Eddy Cash lost 3 spots in that exchange. We are now at lap number 12 in this one for the Smart Modified Tour. Cardinal 99 at Tri-County Speedway. Burt Myers in second. Bobby Labonte still holds the lead. Looking good is Bobby Labonte in this one. That Sadler Stanley Racing team has yet to win a race this year, and he's got about a 5 or 6 car advantage over Burt Myers. Labonte, 2 times a winner on the Smart Modified Tour, but he wants that first win this year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Labonte loves this series. He loves racing. He's raced for a long time. He chose retirement. He chooses to be here. And now he seems like he has a car and a good placement tonight to hopefully win. But there's a lot of laps left in this race.
We're going to work on his microphone here, but at the same time, there's that gap. Battle for third now starting to brew. There's Brian Lofton looking to the inside. Lofton won the pole last year with a track record and went on to win the race. Right now, he's pretty quick early in the going here, running just outside of the top 3, trying to get that third spot from Joey Coulter. Lofton peeking to the inside again. He gets underneath Coulter. This is going to almost be like a dirt track move right in front of Joey Coulter. Coulter backs out and allows him to have the spot early in the game. A little bit further in the field, there's some side-by-side racing going on as well. We'll take a look at that with our Flow Racing cameras coming up here in just a minute. There it is. Johnny Keebman picks up a spot. Jake Crum, but look at this bottleneck right here. Brandon Ward in that number 2 machine, who's second in series points right now, losing positions in the early going here at Tri-County. Tommy Buzzy contact with Danny Bone. Hold on, Danny. Great piece of driving there by that driver out of Freehold, New Jersey. Wow. Close quartered racing there. Tim Brown in the 25 on the inside of Brandon Ward. Now we got a battle for second as well, starting to brew right behind Bobby Labonte. There it is. Brian Lofton has been looking to the inside of Burt Myers. A little outside to in maneuver there. We'll focus on that battle for second right now. Burt Myers in the Citrus Safe Grill Cleaners number 1. And the number 15 for Brian Lofton. That's where we need to put our cameras. We know that Bobby Labonte is out of the way by a large part. Let's focus on that battle for second. Here comes Lofton. Goes outside to inside once again. Lofton looking so strong here. He just can't get by, but here's the great battle. Battle for second on the right side. Battle just a little bit outside of the top 5, I believe, actually. Joey Coulter right now running in that 0-2 machine. That's actually for 4th right now. Joey Coulter trying to fend off Caleb Heddy, but honestly, Heddy is just too strong in that 7NY. Looks like he's going to be able to pick up the spot. Will Jonathan Cash come with Heddy, though, and go to the inside of Joey Coulter? That's a big question right now. So Heddy's got the spot. Contact, Jonathan Cash and Joey Coulter. They spin coming off the corner and are collected on the middle of the backstretch.
Wow, not what you want to see early on here with Jonathan Cash and Joey Coulter getting together. Both of these drivers experienced, but this is exactly not what you want to see, especially if you're Bobby Labonte. You're going to have to beat these cars off the restart again. Looks like Brian Weber is going to be the lucky dog here, getting his lap back. Good for him, but again, not good for Joey Coulter and Jonathan Cash getting into that tangle up on the backstretch. See how this race goes for the both of them.
All right, we're going to take a look at the replay of what happened between Jonathan Cash and Joey Coulter. They were battling just outside the top 5 for that 6th spot. All right, let's take a look at it here. This is coming into turn number 2. Cash just kind of washes up the racetrack a little bit, gets into Joey Coulter, and then both cars collected halfway down the backstretch.
Yeah, as soon as they got tangled up here on the backstretch, there was just no chance Now, while these cars aren't technically open wheel in a sense, as you know, if you get that contact going between the bull bars, it's going to be very tough for them to get out of it. You hate to see it for Joey Coulter and Jonathan Cash.
Yeah, bad break indeed, and we will continue to work on Noah's microphone. He's going to go talk to the track here and see if we can work on that a little bit, because we know that it's a little bit lower in volume than mine right now. So right now here we are 23 laps into this race. I want to say a big thank you to Pace-O-Matic. Since 2000, Pace-O-Matic has assembled an incredibly talented team from top to bottom, built on the grounds of integrity, innovation, and compliance, all of which aligns perfectly with the world of motorsports. As an entertainment company that develops gaming software that players love to play, Pace-O-Matic is all about giving back to local communities, small businesses, and yes, now motorsports. To learn more about their history, business, charitable works, and products, check out all their social media outlets or just visit their website at paceomatic.com. That's Pace-O-Matic, proud supporter of grassroots initiatives and proud presenting sponsor of the Smart Modified Tour. Just 7 laps to go until we get to the conclusion of Bell Helmet's stage number 1. There you see Joey Coulter live on Flow Racing in that gray number 02, Eric Zay in the number 34 going by. But Coulter has had some miserable luck as of late on the Smart Modified Tour. It all started at Carteret County Speedway, and a lot happening there with some extracurricular activity. A lot of cars coming down pit road, including, see if we can get our camera on that number 2 machine. Brandon Ward, second in points coming into this one, is on pit road early in this race. That car not to Brandon's liking in the early going of this Cardinal 99. So Jason Myers also on pit road with the number 4 machine. Danny Bone in the 24. And we saw Brandon Ward go by there. There is Jason Myers. Myers, the Pace-O-Matic Pole Award winner and the pole sitter for this race. He's gone backwards in the early going here in the opening 23 laps of this race. Wound up as back as 8th, and now just hoping that this change can reinvigorate that race car and that it can run a little bit better than he had wanted to.
Yeah, the tire fall off is really coming to factor here quickly, a lot quickly than I thought. So now as you see these teams going to pit lane, they only have 1 tire to switch off of. It's going to be interesting to see where these teams place these tires, especially knowing that the asphalt fall off is happening so rapidly at the track. And plus this track was recently repaved too, so they have to factor that in.
Take a look as they run right now on the racetrack. 2 to go until we go back to green flag racing. It's Bobby Labonte, your leader. Labonte, the 2000 Cup Series champion in the 18. Burt Myers is second in that Citrus Safe Grill Cleaners Backyard Leisure Pools and Spas number 1. He is the point leader at this stage of the season. Brian Lofted in the number 15 car is 3rd. 4th was Joey Coulter, had a little mishap there. So right now, if you take a look at how things shake down just a little bit, by virtue of that Citrus Safe Choose Cone, Jake Crum gets to move up a bunch of spots in that 12 PA car, that black and orange machine. So he's got a good opportunity right now to make his presence felt.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're talking about Jake Crum, but what I'm looking at is the upfront battle between Labonte and Myers. You know, you got Myers on the inside and Labonte on the outside. We saw at the beginning of the race, Labonte was able to get out in front of the field very quickly, but Burt Myers' car was hard charging the entire first run before the yellow.
On pit road right now, Gary Young Jr., they are looking, they looked underneath the hood, or they are going to again right now for Gary Young Jr. Bad break for that independent racer because he's just a true good guy. Has run part-time this year with the Smart Modified Tour, but still loves the game of modified racing, a former champion at Ace Speedway.
Yeah, has help from the Habit Bar and Grill on that car too. Again, you hate to see it. Let's see what they can do with the car. Maybe get out and run some more laps, but again, for a team like this, you hate to see it.
A big surprise right now, Carson Lofton having some difficulty early in this race, came down pit road, made some adjustments on that race car. He's the top rookie in the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic, but he's also battling to get into the Smart 3. After next week's race at South Boston Speedway, the Smart 3 drivers will be anointed. Those are the drivers that will compete for the championship in the finale October 28th at Orange County Speedway. And Carson was quickest in the first practice session, had laps here last year on the Smart Modified Tour, but right now still struggling with that race car just a little bit.
Yeah, that third generation modified racer is struggling with his car tonight, and ironically it was his dad who won last year's race here. Maybe he's trying to look to some inspiration from his father to see if we can find some, but maybe not yet, maybe not tonight. Maybe the dad was like, hey, I'm not giving you any of my secrets, son. You're going to have to learn this yourself.
And before we go green, just wanted to give a shout out to Johnny Keevman. Keevman told us during our Pace-O-Matic pit party that he felt like the car was better than it was really in qualifying, and he's proving it solidly in the top 10 right now. For Johnny Keevman, he will line up on the outside of row number 4, so virtually giving him that 8th place spot right now. Here just 23 laps in, 7 laps shy of the Bell Helmet stage number 1. Here we go, Noah. Bring us to the green.
Here they come to the green. We've got Burt Myers on the inside, Bobby Labonte on the outside, Brian Lofton behind Bobby Labonte. Let's see if he can get a shove. And here they come to the green flag.
Really good start for Bobby Labonte. Carries the momentum on the outside to shoot back into the lead. Burt Myers settles into second. Brian Lofton trying to hold on to that third spot. And right now the battle between Caleb Hetty on the outside and Jake Crum on the inside for fourth.
Yeah, there goes Caleb Hetty. Oh, he's getting some contact and he goes left and right there.
Hold on. Wow. Drivers going everywhere. Tommy Buzzy, Caleb Hetty, Bobby Meismer Jr., Johnny Keevman all involved.
A lot of back and forth bobbling there, coming out of turn through onto the backstretch. And now it seems like things have calmed down just a little bit. But we'll see if it sparks back up again in these later laps in this race.
It's good old modified racing here at Tri-County Speedway. This is what you gotta love about the cars that live by the grace of God in 600 horsepower. Top 3, Labonte. Second, Burt Myers. Third, Brian Lofton. Lofton is there, hounding that number 1 car. Back in the field again we go. There's Tim Brown trying to make his way around Johnny Keevman. Bobby Meismer Jr. in that white, black, and red machine just did. Meismer has moved himself up to 7th. Johnny Keevman in 8th. And Tim Brown in that 25 running in the 9th spot. 10th now is the 0-2 of Joey Coulter. Remember, Joey just involved in that incident, so he's coming from the back of the field to try to march his way back up into the top 5 where he was running.
And there you go. You got a battle going on here right into turn 3. There they come. It's Bobby Meismer. Oh, they're side by side on the front stretch. Can Meismer get by on the inside? No, it's not going to happen.
And that concludes Bell Helmet stage number 1 at the end of 30 laps. Congratulations to Bobby Labonte, the winner of Bell Helmet's stage number 1. Second place, Burt Myers. And third is Brian Lofton. All those drivers will receive a little extra bonus thanks to Bell Helmets. So what do you think? You came with us last week to Pulaski County Motorsports Park, a motor mile up there in Virginia. Got to witness the modified. You've been around racing for a long time, but what do you think about this Tri-County Speedway?
You know, I love Tri-County Speedway. I've actually been here before in 2021 for a late model race, but this is unlike anything I've seen before. Now, you're talking about a track that was just recently repaved. You know, the surface is a little bit different, and you can see it in the way these cars drive. You know, the entry into the corner. You're not seeing a lot of lines. You're not seeing cars try to run up near the top of the wall. You're also not seeing a lot of cars trying to run near the inside wall. I'm not going to say it's single file going into these turns, but there's only so much you can do here. That's why it's so important to get around the side.
And because of this track surface, what I see, Noah, is that a lot of the drivers, like Brian Lofton, trying that outside to in maneuver. I think that's going to be the key, that run up off the corner to try to get that momentum to get up underneath somebody to make a move.
Yeah, we saw it in qualifying as well. It worked for some. It didn't work for others. Let's see who it's going to work for tonight.
Let's take a look at your top 10 in the running order right now. It's Bobby Labonte over Burt Myers. 30 laps into this one. Brian Lofton is third. Jake Crum in that fourth spot. Jake having a good run in that 12 PA modified. Just his third start of the year with the Smart Modified Tour. And Caleb Hetty, the defending series champion, in fifth.
And rounding out your top 10, number 5, Tom Buzzy. Number 14 of Bobby Meismer Jr. Number 48, Johnny K. Number 25, Tim Brown. And in 10th place is the number 02 of Joey Coulter, who was wrapped up in that wreck a little bit early in the race. But it seems like he's trucking along just fine, and so are the rest of these drivers as they go into the second stage of the race.
And look at this, Brian Lofton, during this Bell Helmet Stage 1 break, making a pit stop. He was running in the top 3, gives up that spot. He's changing that right rear tire right now is Brian Lofton. So a little strategy right now for Lofton. You can take that tire, put it anywhere on the race car. Most usual place is that right rear, but Brian Lofton choosing to do it early in this race.
Right, but you only get the one. So doing it really early in this race, it's going to be really interesting to see how long he can make it last, Bob.
Brian Lofton is a veteran, a 9-time winner in the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. And if anybody can make it work and save his tires, Brian Lofton is one of those drivers. Two cautions early in the Cardinal 99 for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. Excited to be with you here tonight. I'm Bob Dillner, the voice of the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. We have an Appalachian State student with me in the booth here tonight and an avid racing fan. He's covered some NASCAR, loves short track racing. Noah Cornelius from Appalachian State University. Enjoying yourself tonight here at Tri-County?
You know, I'm really enjoying myself. You know, we've had some technical issues going on tonight, but we're trucking through it. We're getting through it the best we can. And, Bob, honestly, I'm happy to be here. Proud to call you my professor, too.
Nice to have you with us in the booth here tonight. I want to say thank you to Carolina Drilling for being our proud sponsor, as well as CitraSafe Grill Cleaners, of our drone coverage. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to show you that drone just yet, but we're working on that. Matt Smith, one of the hardest working producers in the business, has been with us for the majority of the Smart Modified Tour. He is from Flow Racing, working hard on that right now while we continue to give you a look at what's going on here on the racetrack. Second caution, as we said, in this one, not for something that happened on the racetrack, like last time between Joey Coulter and Jonathan Cash, this time for the conclusion of Bell Helmets Stage number 1.
You know, Bob, with how these cars have been beating and banging against each other, I'm surprised there haven't been more cautions. Not necessarily a demolition derby by any means, but they're really digging into these turns, and they're not giving each other any room.
So as we continue to pace around this racetrack under cautions, just want to remind everybody what the point standings look like heading into this one. Burt Myers right now, who runs in second, leading the points brigade by 35 points over Brandon Ward. Brandon Ward in that number 2 machine has had difficulties on pit road once again. They are changing the right rear tire. That's the second time that Brandon Ward has had that PSR race car on pit road. So quite the discrepancy between first and second in points and where they're running on the racetrack during this race so far. 2 laps until we go green. Carson Lofton, similar for him, he's way back in the field outside the top 10. Carson seems to be struggling a little bit. And the interesting thing about that is after next week, we will anoint that Smart 3 and they will battle for the championship. Well, Joey Coulter in that 0-2, and Coulter right now will line up inside the top 10, and Caleb Hetty in the 7NY has a very fast race car here tonight. He is actually in the top 4. Both of those guys stand to gain some points if Brandon Ward, who's in that 2 machine, and the 23 of Carson Lofton can't get going.
What's that saying? A lot of playoff or championship implications? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. The championship picture getting a little out of focus, I would say, here. But that's going to make South Boston exciting, and we hope you join us next week for a big race at South Boston Speedway in Virginia, just over the border from North Carolina to Virginia, the home of the Saddlers, the home of the bologna burger. So maybe we'll even see good old Hermie out there, who's got a lot of stuff going on right now, running for office and so forth. And, of course, we'll see the Senator Bill Stanley out there, I'm sure. It's going to be enjoyable to see that SNS Racing bunch. And they are having a good night here so far with Bobby Labonte leading this one. And Jonathan Cash has been very fast despite that incident just a short time ago. Coming back to the green at the conclusion of Bell Helmet stage number 1. It's Bobby Labonte after that Citrus Safe choose cone that chooses the outside. Burt Myers on the inside coming back to the stripe.
And once again, you see Bobby Labonte trying to get a good jump, and there he goes. Bobby Labonte making great use of that outside line, but Burt Myers settles in right behind him. Now going into turns 3 and 4. It's a log jam behind him, but Bobby Labonte's going to lead another lap tonight.
Look at Jake Crum. Crum in third right now, but here's a battle for 5th. Bobby Meismer Jr. on the inside in the 14, the 5 of Tommy Buzzy on the outside.
You got Caleb Hetty in the mix as well. But you also have a side-by-side battle on the front stretch going into turns 1 and 2. And maybe, just maybe, Joey Coulter gets into the action too. No, it doesn't seem like it because Meismer is holding strong on that inside. But once again on the outside, here comes Buzzy.
Tommy Buzzy had that great run on the podium at South Boston Speedway, but he struggled on a part-time basis since then, having his best run since that spring race at South Boston. And now, Tommy Buzzy in the top 5 here tonight during the Cardinal 99. Joey Coulter on the outside of Bobby Meismer. This is just outside the top 5, battle for 6. Meismer doesn't want to give it up, comes up a little bit, puts the block on the 0-2 of Coulter. Behind that, though, the 25 of Tim Brown and the yellow car, that 48, Johnny Keebman going at it. Great run for that independent runner, Johnny Keebman, in that PSR car.
You know, I know a guy who got his first start in motorsports thanks to Johnny K. He made sure to say, give that guy a shout out. Johnny K is one of the most favorite people in motorsports racing independently right now as he battles Tim Brown.
So Keebman running in 8th. Look at who's crept up into the mix as well. We talked about Carson Lofton not having a good run. Here comes that red number 28. We'll go back to that battle that we just had there. Tim Brown, Johnny Keebman side by side, but behind that there's Carson Lofton, the kid coming back up through the field, and so is Tim Brown. Good run for him. He gets by Johnny Keebman, and now trying to get by Joey Coulter in one fell swoop as well. So Tim Brown moving up to the 7th spot if he completes this pass on Joey Coulter.
Yeah, Joey Coulter, Tim Brown, Johnny K, Carson Lofton in a scramble here, trying to get the best position they can. And Carson Lofton, he's just a kid. He's doing all this, and he's impressing the older guys out there saying, where did he come from? Carson Lofton is having a good night.
Whoa, Nelly, here comes Carson Lofton. We told you the kid is good, just 15 years old. Shoots by Keebman, now shoots by Joey Coulter as well. Carson Lofton red hot right now. Lofton moving up to the 8th spot right behind Tim Brown. And behind that, there's the 77 of Gary Putnam. Good run for him. Had to start near the tail of the field. Gary Putnam, a one-time winner in the Smart Modified Tour, rejoining after running a couple races early in the year. We haven't seen him much. Look at that little contact between he and Joey Coulter. Coulter struggling with the handling of that 0-2. Putnam now up to 10th.
There goes that handling we talked about in this race really come into effect here. You're starting to see more drivers try to experiment, going inside, going outside, but nothing really seems to be sticking out unless your name is Bobby Labonte when you're in first place and you can do any line you choose.
Back up front we go. Bobby Labonte, he's got a pretty good advantage over Burt Myers. I think Burt Myers just really Burt Myers pacing himself right now in that 2nd spot, about 7 car lengths behind Labonte.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like Burt Myers is just waiting to pounce here. He's saying, okay, maybe I'm going to let Bobby Labonte get out to this lead. I know I'm going to have other opportunities in this race, but now we're going to take it back into the pack.
Just want to show you Brian Lofton, who was running 3rd, came down pit road at that Bell Helmet stage number 1 break. So now Lofton, he's not creeping through the field with that fresh rubber. He's saving his tires because he knows almost everybody in front of him has to pit.
There you go. That's the strategy. Now it just has to pay off. That's kind of a gamble, like Bob said early in the race. But Lofton, the veteran driver, the winner of this race last year. What he's doing.
And look at this. The two guys that got together on the backstretch earlier, Jonathan Cash, Joey Coulter, now running neck and neck on the racetrack.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you can see they're getting really close to the bumper now. Coulter might have to do some rear view mirror driving. Because Cash is trying to make a move to the inside, and there he goes. He's on the front stretch. Can Cash pass it in? But Coulter, he's fighting it out on the outside. Cash inside. Coulter outside. Backstretch. Cash, can he get clear? He's almost there. No, look at the momentum and the fight from Coulter on the outside.
Coulter's car is wicked evil right now. You can see him just wiggling coming up off the corner. It's a handful right there as well.
And there's Jason Myers coming in on the inside of Coulter. Coulter who was fighting really hard against Cash, now seems to be fading just a tiny bit. Or maybe that's just the skill of Jason Myers showing through in this traffic.
And we're showing you this battle. Jason Myers taking over the 14th spot, dropping Joey to 15th. We're showing you this because some pretty good battles. There's Dennis Holdren having some difficulty. He's a lap down right now because Bobby Labonte has set sail on the rest of this field.
You know, there's a saying within WASU called boat race, and it seems like Bobby Labonte is just setting sail and boat racing this field. But it's not over until it's over.
Here is Carson Lofton to the outside of Tim Brown. Lofton continuing his march back up through the field. So strong right now is the 23 car. This is a battle for 7th, and Lofton's got it. He's now going to set his sights on the 14 of Bobby Meismer Jr. running just in front of him in that 6th spot.
This Lofton kid, he's just impressed me so much in the videos I've watched of him, in the vlogs and the series I've seen. This is a young kid with so much talent, not just in modifieds. Who knows what he can do? But for now, he's really putting a show on tonight.
We call him the Lexington Flyer, but he might lose that if he doesn't win here tonight.
That's right.
We've said that if he wins, he's got to stick with the Lexington Flyer nickname. If not, he can choose something else. His grandma wants to choose C-Money.
Yeah.
I don't like that C-Money
stuff. Because you say
stuff.
everybody's named something money.
That's right. Here comes Meismer to the inside of the 7NY of Caleb Heddy. Meismer trying to get up to the 5th spot. Heddy has it until now. Heddy loses that 5th spot to Meismer. Here comes Carson Lofton on the inside.
Carson Lofton on the inside. You got Bobby Meisner kind of in the middle. And then you got Caleb Heddy right behind all of them in a 3-way battle. And there's Tim Brown as well.
And this is what I want to point out to you. See, Meismer kind of closed the door on Lofton. Lofton has a fresh tire. Tim Brown has a fresh tire. So you can see what tires do.
Absolutely.
But will they wear out when all these other guys come in for tires later on?
Of course. And again, you have to keep that in the back of your mind. And it's amazing that these racers can do it while racing. Always in the back of your mind.
Tim Brown trying to get by Caleb Heddy. Battle for 7th on the left side of your screen. You see on the right side, Bobby Labonte all alone. Because that car is dominant here tonight.
Yeah, domination, the name of the game for Bobby Labonte. He's gotten great restarts and he's still going.
Look at Lofton go to the outside trying to get by Meismer. He's trying every which way but loose right now without burning up those tires too much to get by Meismer.
No, that's the most incredible part. Because usually, you see these young kids driving it in deep, using all of the car, but Lofton is doing an incredible job. And now it looks like he's going to clear Bobby Meismer Jr. here into turns 1 and 2. Is he going to do it? Is he? It seems like it, and yes, he does. What a drive from Lofton.
Just want to remind everybody that the Bankers Life halfway leader was Bobby Labonte. So Labonte dominating this one from the onset of the race, started on the outside of the front row, grabbed that lead from Jason Myers, and has never looked back. Heddy's got a handful as well. Johnny Keevan gets by. So Keevan, that we talked about having that good run, now Keevan getting by Caleb Heddy. Keevan now in 8th, and Caleb Heddy in 9th, Danny Bone in 10th.
Now look at this scramble we have here. Bobby Labonte's trying to navigate through traffic, trying to keep this lead however he can.
Hey, look at who's going to go a lap down. Brandon Ward in that 2 machine, 2nd in points, just ahead of Bobby Labonte. If Brandon Ward goes a lap down, listen, he can get the free pass and get back on the lead lap, but that's a big development in the championship picture right now with Brandon Ward 2nd in points struggling.
This is not the night Brandon Ward wanted, not the night his team wanted. He came into this race feeling energetic about this opportunity, and now he's got Bobby Labonte Joey Coulter on his right side.
Yeah, Coulter about to go a lap down as well. Brandon Ward trying to stay ahead of Bobby Labonte right now, hoping for a caution to come out. I'm sure we'll see Brandon Ward back down pit road, but Brandon Ward finished second in this race 1 year ago, so it's not like he's a slouch here at this race track. He's very strong, but that car not perfect here tonight. Oh, we got a spinner coming off of turn number 2. That'll bring out the caution, and that might save Brandon Ward.
Yeah. If there's an announcer jinx, I guess there's also an announcer blessing. How about that?
It's a car
Brandon
off
Ward.
of turn number 2. The 55 of Jeremy Gerstner.
Flying Floridian, getting it turned around, and he's going to continue on here. Now, if you're Brandon Ward, like we said, that's good for them. But again, if you're Bobby Labonte with the yellow, you're saying, oh man, I got to do this all over again.
Jeremy Gerstner was running in the 19th spot at the time of this caution.
Yeah, a little bit on Jeremy Gerstner from Wesley Chapel, Florida. They call him the Flying Floridian. He raced in his own family-owned car in 2021, and he was a 2-time Southern Modified Series champion. He also led the most laps, get this, by 1. That's a slim margin. In 2021, he led 133 laps.
You like grilling out, right, for those Appalachian State games?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. A product that I use to clean my grill.
What is it?
Citrus Safe. Citrus Safe is a non-toxic, biodegradable grill cleaner founded in 1997 under the name of Bryson Cleaner. But in 2003, they got smart. They rebranded the name to what we all know and love today, Citrus Safe. And you can find their products nationwide at stores like Lowe's, Home Depot, and Walmart, as well as many others. Be sure to check them out for all your grill cleaning needs, just like I do, or on the web. They are citrussafe.com. That's Citrus Safe, proud sponsor of the Smart Modified Tour Choose Cone. If it's race season, then it's grilling season. And right now, it's race season, football season.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's all about some tailgating.
You're making me hungry. Look, something I learned about Tri-County is that they have the best burgers in racing. I've been hungry for a second one all night, but I mean, I'm going to have to wait until after the race. So, yes, get yourself some Citrus Safe, and as well, get yourself some good burgers on that grill.
Want to say a big thank you to Jostens as well, the most trusted partner in celebrating moments that matter, with their mission resting on 3 simple words: capture, celebrate, inspire. This thought process has led the Smart Modified Tour to develop one of the most unique works of art in all of motorsports, the Smarty Trophy. From the same company that develops championship rings and trophies for NASCAR, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and more, Jostens helped us develop the race and championship winning hardware that truly embodies the characteristics of all modified legends, both north and south. To learn more, to go to jostens.com. That's Jostens, provider of the Smart Modified Tour Trophy and proud sponsor of the Lap Leader Award in 2023. And Bobby Labonte is well on his way. In fact, I think he's already clinched the Lap Leader Award thanks to Jostens.
Yeah, and now you see Bobby Labonte, Burt Myers, and others going down pit road. It's going to be interesting to see here what the team's strategies are. Just stay calm.
Well, if I'm Bobby Labonte and that S&S racing team, I'm changing the right rear tire because that's an advantage.
Of course.
I'm not touching that race car. That's how good it has been for Bobby Labonte in that Cookout Coca-Cola Pace-O-Matic machine with units, storage as well on the side of that race car. Right behind him is the Backyard Leisure Pool and Spas Citrus Safe Grill Cleaners #1 for Burt Myers, the point leader. His brother, the Pace-O-Matic Pole Award winner, Jason Myers, right behind him. And then Brandon Ward there, we told you he's going to come down pit road, just barely stayed on the lead lap at the time of that caution. There's Joey Coulter in the 02, Jimmy Wallace in the Carolina Drilling #21, and Tim Brown, that Jerry Hunt Supercenter Hayes Jewelers #25 for the Rocket Tim Brown. Eric Zay on pit road, Dennis Holdren as well. Those cars a lap down. Controlled caution this week because the pits are packed here. The pit road basically a little bit awkward. They use some of turns 3 and 4, some of over here in the front stretch and all the way down. So because of that situation, a controlled caution here for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic.
Yeah, Bob. We took a walk around this track before the day began, and we were explained to us, hey, let's have these controlled cautions because, again, this isn't like your typical NASCAR track. The spacing here, while this is a great track, there's just not enough room for these fast-paced pit stops. So safety always comes first, as in any motorsport series, but the Smart Tour keeps that in mind as well. So controlled pit stops tonight.
So a couple of cars staying out, and we knew that one of them would certainly be the 15 of Brian Lofton. But how about Jonathan Cash as well? Cash stays out, so he's right in front of Brian Lofton for this restart. With a couple to go, we will actually put the Citrus Safe choose cone out, and Jonathan Cash will have the ability to choose the outside or inside groove. I don't think it's going to matter too much because Lofton's got a very fast race car. But Bobby Labonte, how about this? All but 2 cars coming down pit road. Labonte going to line up third. He's got that fresher rubber than does Jonathan Cash or Brian Lofton.
I'm sure Bobby Labonte feels like it's the year 2000 again, like he's in his Interstate Batteries Pontiac Chevrolet. I mean,
is that a crossbreed car? Is that
crossbreed car?
Pontiac Chevrolet?
In that era of time in which Bobby Labonte was dominant, he's resurrecting it tonight. That's what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Labonte having a good run. He'll line up in that third spot. Behind him now is Burt Myers. That's Citrus Safe Grill Cleaners #1. Behind him, got to give a shout out to Jay Crum too. Absolutely. Because Crum's having a really good run here. He is a veteran of the late model wars, trying his hand at some modified racing. Led some laps in the crate modified race at North Wilkesboro Speedway 1 week ago, but now in the big power modifieds of the Smart Modified Tour here tonight at Tri-County.
It's going to be interesting to see this restart and everything that goes on. Again, you've got Labonte, who's been having a fantastic night, but Brian Lofton, who pitted earlier for that tire. But Labonte now has a fresher tire on his car. And you've got Burt Myers behind him, and Burt Myers has been charging hard all night trying to find the answer. You got Crum, you've got Lofton, Meismer, Jr., Tim Brown, you've got Johnny K. You've got so many people to look out for in this race.
And Johnny K would love to find himself in the top 5 at the end of this race. We'll see what shakes out here. Still plenty of laps to go in this one. 33 still to be recorded tonight. This time by.
Those 33 laps go by very quickly as well. He might
take a look off of turn number 4. The Citrus Safe choose cone down there. Honeycutt always putting that cone out there. We'll see what Jonathan Cash does at the line. I'm going to say inside. I'm wrong.
Oh, he's taking
outside
the outside
groove. He wants that momentum, and he knows how good Brian Lofton was on the outside earlier in this race. Jonathan Cash's teammate, Bobby Labonte, right behind him.
Perhaps taking some inspiration from his teammates, saying, you know what, these cars they might not be completely the same, but if Bobby Labonte's thriving on the outside, maybe I can too.
All right, Rook, what do you think is going to happen here on this restart?
What do I think is going to happen on this restart? Well, Brian Lofton pitted for tires earlier. You got Jonathan Cash who stayed out. I think Brian Lofton's veteran presence allows him to get by Cash, but it's going to be a tough one.
All right, Rookie, you having fun?
Having fun. I am having fun at the end of the day.
And this is, NOAA is a product of the EMB department, Electronic Media Broadcasting, and the television services and education that they offer at Appalachian State University. So if you like him, give him a follow on social media. And he is a future superstar in the TV world. Looking forward to seeing what he does after graduation in December.
One race at a time. I've got some plans, but unfortunately I can't say it officially until it's all said and done.
Absolutely. We wish you the best of luck. All right, they're down the middle of the backstretch, coming to the green, this time by 33 circuits remain in the Cardinal 99 for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. The leader, the pace setter on this restart in the Pace-O-Matic restart zone is Jonathan Cash on the outside, Brian Lofton on the inside, battling for the lead, coming to the stripe.
And there goes Lofton trying to keep it in, a little bit of contact. Lofton's driving it deep, and he does get around Jonathan Cash just as the rookie predicted. And here comes Bobby Labonte also trying to get by Cash as they go into turns 3 and 4. But it's Lofton who's going to lead the first lap after the restart.
They go by our Flow Racing speed shot right there. That was a scenario of 8 tires better than 4. We got battles going on all throughout the track. Here is Burt Myers to the inside of Jake Crum. Myers trying to creep up into third here. He knows he has a chance to separate himself and Brandon Ward here tonight, but he can't do it. And that's because here comes Carson Lofton, the Lexington Flyer, moving through. Here comes Jake Crum, almost up into the side of Bobby Labonte.
Look at how deep Jake Crum drove it into turns 3 and 4. He looked like a missile going down there, but the bad side about that is that he had to slow down a lot more than these other cars coming out of turn 4.
I think you're going to see some teammate strategy here. Cash not as good as Bobby Labonte at this stage of the game. Labonte with that fresh rubber on the right rear, but Cash keeping it wound up on the outside, able to keep that second spot for now. And oh, Jake Crum to the back bumper of Bobby Labonte.
Beating and banging as they come up the front stretch. And Labonte is trying so hard to get around his teammate. You talk about teammate strategy, but are you sure that right now they are teammates? Because it seems like Cash is racing Labonte like another rival.
We'll see what happens here. Labonte trying to get that momentum off the corner. He gives Jonathan Cash a little push going into the corner. Jake Crum says, I'm going to back off just a little bit, find out what these teammates are going to do.
And
here comes Labonte to the inside. Labonte trying to get this spot and move into second. He does. Now, what's going to happen? Will Labonte be able to catch and dispose of the 15 of Bobby Labonte?
Crum is dive bombing it deep. He actually made a tiny bit of contact with Jonathan Cash as Labonte is now picking up the second. But Jake Crum driving it in very deep.
Burt Myers in jeopardy, falling back just a little bit. He goes by Jonathan Cash, Lofton in front of him, Crum in front of the 23 of Lofton. The top 5 right now. Brian Lofton in the 15. Second place is Bobby Labonte. Third, Jake Crum. Fourth, Carson Lofton. And fifth, Burt Myers.
And don't look now, Bobby Labonte is catching up to Brian Lofton. Like you said earlier in that race, Lofton opted for the early tire switch, but Labonte is now, as he's been doing the entire night, is getting ready to pounce, and he might be able to do it in here or maybe in the next lap or two.
Labonte lurking in second. The dominant car the first half of this race. Led every lap of the first half of this race to bring us to the Bankers Life halfway leader. He is on the right side of your screen going for the lead. Here comes Labonte to the inside on the right side of your screen. That's a battle for the lead. We got a slower car to the inside. Brian Weber in the way a little bit. Labonte's going to have to single file right behind the 15 once again.
Bobby Labonte showing his veteran presence from all of his years in stock car racing, able to get past that slow car and stay with Lofton. That's no shame to Lofton whatsoever, because modified drivers have a skill set of their own. But Bobby Labonte is picking all of the tricks out of his bag, as the kids would say.
On the left side of your screen, yes, sorry, no more double box, my apologies. We just had that up a second ago. Brian Lofton trying to hold on to the lead. Jake Crum in third, but there is Labonte. Labonte, so strong, but Lofton, look at how he's using that outside groove where he can keep the momentum and really kind of trying to keep Bobby pinned to the bottom.
Sparks flying from Jake Crum as he's continuing to drive it in deep. Labonte now trying, doing everything he can to get past his car as there's 18 laps to go left in this race. Like I said, you blink and all these laps are going away quickly. Labonte has to find an answer here soon.
Right there, Labonte can't get the run. Lofton kind of checks up a little bit, and it hurts that momentum of Bobby Labonte. We'll see if they make some contact with each other here late in the race. Coming to the line this time by, it'll be 15 laps to go for Brian Lofton, trying to go back-to-back here at Tri-County.
And as you see on the left side of your screen, you got Bobby Meismer Jr. trying to hold on the hard-charging car. And wait, there goes Bobby Labonte to the inside as you're looking on the right of your screen. Can Bobby Labonte clear on the front stretch? He's trying to get past Lofton, and he's trying to get Zan first, but here comes Lofton battling back on the inside. Lofton, Labonte, the battle of the two L's, but Labonte's getting the good run on the back stretch, and the crowd is clapping their hands, and they're excited. They want to see Bobby Labonte.
Here comes Jake Crum, the battle for second. Lofton loses that momentum just like we thought he would because of the fresher rubber from Bobby Labonte. So Bobby Labonte now going way out in front of this pair battling for second. Crum in the number 12 car. 15 is Lofton. Behind that, though, is Burt Myers and Carson Lofton. Oh, contact between Lofton in the 15 and the 12 of Crum.
Sparks flying. Contact everywhere. 12 laps to go. Crum, if you're Crum, you're thinking, I have to get around Lofton as fast as I can if I'm going to have any chance of winning this race.
Tommy Buzzy trying to work his way through the field. He's in that 5 car battling with Jonathan Cash for 7th. So Buzzy having a pretty good run here. Jonathan Cash, keeps him pinned to the bottom. Buzzy almost ran up into him, but was able to keep that car cleared of the 39. And now Buzzy gets the spot. Buzzy up to 7th.
Yeah, the generational racing family driver. He crashed hard and injured at Ultimate at the Ultimate Classic in 2022. It's good to see him running here tonight. Good.
There's Carson Lofton to the inside of Burt Myers. Those two battling for 4th. And remember, Carson Lofton trying to get into that Smart 3 to battle for the championship in the finale. The Smart 3 will be decided next week as far as who's going to battle for that championship. October 14th, Saturday night, next Saturday at South Boston Speedway.
That will be decided then. But what's going to be decided tonight in terms of who wins this race? It looks like it could be Bobby Labonte, but as you're seeing on your screen, Burt Myers versus Carson Lofton, you're talking about the bigger championship implications. And here comes Bobby Meismer Jr. on the inside, getting past Carson Lofton into lap traffic there too on the inside.
Wow. Threaded the needle perfectly, did Bobby Meismer, and that puts him in 5th. Carson Lofton, smart, backed out, showing the maturity of a 15-year-old, way beyond his years. Meismer charging hard now. Meismer in the Z-Max Lubricants number 14, going after Burt Myers for 4th. And now, how about this? Next time by, we are under 5 laps to go in this race. The Cardinal 99 here tonight, and Bobby Labonte setting the pace. Meismer underneath Myers.
Meismer making quick work of Burt Myers. Now he's got Jake Crum to worry about. And in front of Jake Crum, it's Brian Lofton. Got to give a shout out to Brian Lofton. He took the tire earlier in this race than many expected, and he's still holding it down incredibly in 2nd, but he's got 2 hard charges behind him to worry about.
Big gap between 1st and 2nd right now, folks. Probably about 8 car lengths or so between 1st place running Bobby Labonte and 2nd place running Brian Lofton. But look at this. Here comes Meismer on the inside of Jake Crum. Man, if we get a caution late in this race, Bobby Meismer will be a force to be reckoned with.
Yes, that's right. And they're getting ready to come to the white flag, but not just yet. Labonte, who turns 3 and 4. The white flag is shown, but behind him it's Meismer versus Lofton for 2nd. And here comes Crum. It's a 3-way battle for 2nd.
Meismer looking for his best effort ever in the Smart Modified Tour. He gets to 2nd by Brian Lofton. But it's a NASCAR Hall of Famer going to victory lane here tonight at Tri-County Speedway. Bobby Labonte wins. Incredible performance by Bobby Labonte. He wins this race in dominating fashion. Led the most laps from the outside of the front row.
That's his first win of the year for Bobby Labonte, and I'm sure there are many motorsports fans in this crowd who are clapping their hands and congratulating him.
And you know, Bobby Meismer is pretty happy too.
Oh, absolutely.
His best run in Smart Modified Tour competition comes here tonight, and I'm sure he was hoping for a caution and have a green-white checker finish, because who knows what Bobby Meismer might have been able to do with Bobby Labonte in a battle of the Bobbies.
Oh, 100%. The battle of the Bobbies, but it's Labonte who comes out on top.
Sorry, sir. Thank you. Bobby Labonte parks his car in Pace-O-Matic victory lane for the first time this year. And when he gets out, how about a big round of applause for that former NASCAR Cup Series champion in victory lane here today. But great run by Bobby Meismer, best run in his Smart Modified Tour career. Brian Lofton in that 3rd spot. Bobby Labonte getting his hat on, that Hoosier collar. He is back. Pick up your Bobby Labonte merch before you leave here in the midway right now. All right, let him hear it. Bobby Labonte victorious once again on the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. The former NASCAR Cup Series champion fell in love with modifieds a few years ago with the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. Big hugs, high fives all around for the Sadler Stanley Racing Team. They've been waiting for this. Stricken with bad luck all year long. Rebounded a couple of races ago with their best finish of the year prior to this. And now Labonte. Come on over here, Bobby. Bobby Labonte back in victory lane like he had wanted to. You waited a while for this one this year. How good does it feel?
Oh, man, it feels great. I mean, obviously, man, there was a, yeah, it was been a tough week, and, yeah, real tough. And I just got to thank all these guys behind me. It wasn't planned to be this long. You know, we were hoping to get here sooner, but, man, we made some good changes, and we talked about it and fought back and forth trying to make the right changes, and, you know, just can't thank them enough. You know, obviously, Pace-O-Matic cookout units, without them, we couldn't do this. But, man, oh, man, these guys in this race car tonight, you know, in practice, the last lap I ran in practice, I spun out. And I'm like, I think we probably should be a little tighter, you know? So we threw some stuff at it and qualified pretty good. And just, yeah, I mean, it was on rails. And this is Ryan's car because I wiped mine out last weekend, so he will not be getting this back.
Uh-oh, Ryan Newman, you might not be getting this car back. I want to know, though, having to get by Brian Lofton, you know how good Lofton is, especially here defending winner of this race. Were you worried, or were you confident in that right rear tire a little bit fresher than his?
Well, I mean, it really didn't matter, but it didn't matter. Track position was big. I mean, I was on him really hard right here for a few laps, and I was just going to try to just, you know, hopefully he'll slip up a little bit more, but he is so good, and he wasn't going to slip up. So finally, I say that, he did get, you know, he was getting a little freer, and my stagger was probably growing more than I wanted it to, but I turned down underneath him, and it stuck for a lap. I mean, I couldn't do that but probably once, and got him at 3 and 4. But, yeah, that was a great battle with him because I wasn't sure that we could do that. I mean, just because track position, you know, seemed like it meant a lot, and he was so fast. But this car was hooked up to start with, and I almost didn't pit. I'm glad I did, but almost didn't pit, you know. So, but it was great to win. What a great racetrack. Thank the fans for coming out, and thanks, Flo, for obviously putting this on the air, and all these guys behind me again. And like I said, it's been kind of a challenging week, and I wasn't very confident coming in here, and I figured I was going to be kind of slow. But last week I knocked the crap out of me, so I was definitely slow. And so anyway, I'm just glad I finished, to be honest with you.
Bottom line is Bobby Labonte got the job done here tonight, and here is the Banker's Life Smarty Trophy manufactured by Jostens, Chris Williams. It's a family affair down here. Families that race together stay together. And now Bobby Labonte, for the third time in his career, back in victory lane with a Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. Chris Williams, Chris is not listening to me. Chris, we got one other thing to present right now. The Smarty Trophy up in the air. Make sure you take a look at that Smarty Trophy feature, the film by Flow Racing. You can see that on their website. And Bobby Labonte right now. Let's hold the trophy the other way. We'll get in here and try to turn this around. The North South Shootout Qualifier, 21st annual race coming up. Can't believe it's 21st annual for the North South Shootout. Bobby Labonte now a qualifier for that. So that's going to be a great race a little bit later on this year. We'll mosey on down here to a heck of a run. I see Eddie Harvey down here helping out. Bobby Meismer Jr., Kevin and the bunch. And Bobby, were you praying for a caution there late in that race?
Yeah. I mean, I'd like for it to went green there and had about 5 more laps. Then it would have been a different Bobby in victory lane. But you know, it's a hell of a win. I mean, really for us. I mean, heck, we take a week off. Carteret County was our last race, and we got wrecked. And you know, we got it one piece here. Started 17th, so I think that might be some extra money in my pocket too. Hard charger. Hopefully, all the fans enjoyed the show. Everybody wanted to run that top lane, but hell, I found something down there on the bottom.
I think indeed you might be the Pace-O-Matic hard charger of the race. But I also do want to mention that, you know, I mean, think about it. This is a great week for you, but you're not allowed to take next week off.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to take next week off. We're going to go to South Boston, see if we can't get us a win. I mean, heck, we've got 2 third-place finishes, and then now this is our second and our best finish so far this year. And I like South Boston. I sat on the pole there earlier in the year, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll go back, run a second. That paid the bills a little bit, so we'll be there next week, I guess.
Put your hands together for old Farmer Ted, Bobby Meismer Jr. here in the number 14. We'll get you over to Victory Lane. We're going to do a podium.
All right. Well, I need to holler out to Alcova Mortgage, Stephen Knorr. He came up tonight, him and his boy. Thank them for all they do for us. And Z-Max Racing Products, Pub 49, Bill Cole back in Harrisburg, Ryan Shepherd's Hunting Company, and we're going to take her back to Concord. Everybody else can go celebrate whatever they want to do.
Bobby Meismer Jr., charismatic to say the least. Let's have a quick talk with our third-place runner, the defending winner last year here, Brian Lofton. Just a little bit short here tonight. I could see that little grimace on your face right now. What you thinking?
Well, I mean, we've had such a bad stretch of luck here. I'm just happy to get a finished race car with its one piece rolled in the trailer. You know, we're on the front stretch, so it's not a bad night, but, man, I want to win. You know, I thought we had a good enough car to win. Bobby was really good, don't get me wrong, but, you know, the tire, we had a little strategy there. We thought we'd go ahead and get up front and try and take care of the tire, and I thought we did that good enough. The front end started bouncing quite a bit, and it kind of hurt us on turn, but, you know, all in all, good night. Can't thank these guys enough for the car they prepared and allowed me to drive for them.
And now next Saturday you go back to the place you won earlier this year, South Boston Speedway.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I love that racetrack. That's probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite track. So definitely ready to get there, and hopefully we can keep this momentum building.
Brian Lofton, Shady Grady Racing, a great podium finish here tonight with the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. Bobby Labonte continuing with his crew chief Neil Cantor in Victory Lane. Phil, everybody from PSR, his wife as well. This is a good moment because Bobby Labonte definitely had a difficult week last week at the old Motor Mile Speedway, Pulaski County Motorsports Park, hard into the wall off of turn number 2. And as we mentioned, or as Bobby mentioned, this is the car normally driven by Ryan Newman. Newman has done everything but win this year in this race car. And maybe this is a little change of fortune. Maybe Bobby Labonte learned some things here because this car was a rocket ship here tonight. And Labonte, his 3rd career win in the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. Folks, we loved being here at Tri-County Speedway. You fans are amazing. This series is amazing. And we cannot wait to be back here to Tri-County Speedway next year with the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. On behalf of Chris Williams and everyone with the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic, I'm Bob Dillner. I'm going in the grandstands, getting myself a burger and who knows what else. I'm going to watch some great racing for the rest of the night here at Tri-County Speedway. Thank you so much. You guys are great.
All right, a great show put on courtesy of the Smart Modified Tour. Certainly appreciate those guys being out here tonight and putting on an absolutely amazing show. How about that number 4 car and that 15-year-old that in the 23, Carson Lofton, driving that car all the way up into the top 5, and he started way back in the field. Again, we want to thank our sponsors here at Tri-County Speedway, Mike Johnson Toyota, Jeff's Auto Sales, Alliance Driveway Solutions, Leapfrog Landscaping, Black's Automotive Group, Chad Abernathy Trucking, Easy Way Auto Sales, Price Roofing, Winds, Cintas, Richards Construction, Pikes Construction, Players Asphalt Maintenance, M&K Paving, and Messer Heating and Cooling.